Would it be accurate to say that the stated goal of the boat strikes in the Caribbean is counter-narcotics and, as you just said, to break up the business models of the cartels?
That has been my understanding of the president's statements.
Okay, so if the goal is counter-narcotics, can you help me understand why the department actually canceled counter-narcotics programs that were actually reducing drug trafficking in the region? For example, a program that was operating along the transit route for Colombia's narco traffickers that helped people build a cacao business to serve as a legal alternative to the business of coca, the plant used to make cocaine. USAID's closure has led to the cancellation of many of these programs, and the president's FY26 budget request asked for a 90% cut to counter-narcotics programs. So can you explain to the committee why the department has slashed the very programs that would help stem drug trafficking when that is the president's apparent goal?
Thank you very much for the question, Congresswoman. It is absolutely a top goal of this administration to counter cartels and to stop narcotics flowing into the U.S. We have taken a very full and thorough review of all of U.S. foreign assistance to try to determine those which best meet the strategic needs of the U.S. government, and those are the ones that are being carried forward in a more targeted fashion.
So are you saying that the counter-narcotics program that have empirical evidence to show that they were effective actually were not in the interest of the United States?
I'm saying that after a thorough review of all of the programs that were currently being operated, the administration elected not to go forward with a certain number of those.
Mr. Lamberg, sounds like she's impugning the work that your bureau does. I think the INL programs in counter-narcotics have been incredibly effective and successful.
Well, thank you, Representative. You were also mentioning USAID programs, which is different. We in INL did not have many alternative development programs ongoing in Colombia or elsewhere. But we have taken a full review of all our programs, and we have refocused our global efforts on the key projects that are going to keep Americans safe and make sure they're stronger and more prosperous. I mean, it's about U.S. national security. We understand that there are many threats in all of the countries where we work. They have a number of priorities. We are prioritizing the use of our resources on what is like really advancing U.S. national security.
Sure,
and that
I understand.
Has been countering cartels and drugs and.
I would argue that providing alternatives to farmers so that the cartels don't have a source of product is one of the most important things we are doing. And so I guess that leads me to ask, like, if the strikes are really for counter-narcotics purposes, why are we doing the very things that we know are proven to support counter-narcotics? And I have to ask, is any part of the strategy, any objective or goal in any part of the strategy about destabilizing the Maduro regime in any way?
Congresswoman, I would refer to the president's remarks. Those were the most authoritative comments on our position in Venezuela.
Okay, so I ask unanimous consent to enter into the record the Vanity Fair article that came out yesterday, in which White House Chief of Staff Susie Wiles said he, Trump, wants to keep on blowing boats up until Maduro cries uncle, and people way smarter than me on that say that he will.
Without objection.
Thank you. So could you, I guess what I'm hearing is that you're unwilling to actually say what the objective is. Is it counter-narcotics, in which case what we're doing is counterproductive? Or is it to destabilize the Maduro regime, in which case the American people deserve transparency on why U.S. taxpayer funds and weapons are being used to commit extrajudicial killings in the Caribbean and the Eastern Pacific?
Thank you, Congresswoman. Venezuela is very much clearly a source of narcotics, very much a concern for us on that front, which is a top priority for this administration. Nicolás Maduro is the head of the Cartel de los Soles, and so is very much a concern on that front. We have additional concerns with President Maduro, but we will continue to focus on ensuring that he doesn't threaten Americans.
Okay, excellent. My last question, Mr. Lamberg, is for you. You've probably seen CNN reporting that the United Kingdom, our single closest intelligence partner, has suspended intelligence sharing because of their concerns about what's happening in the Caribbean operations. What would happen if Colombia followed the lead of the Brits and suspended their intelligence sharing to avoid legal liability for the strikes, when we know that the majority of actionable intelligence on drug movements in the region actually come from Colombia?
Well, we don't have any indication that that's going to happen. Obviously that information is important. It's not the only source of information in the region that we get. So, you know,
And do you have any contingency planning for when that happens?
I'm not aware that that's going to happen. We are still working very closely with Colombian security forces. I think we have other sources of information in the region, and a lot of it is overlapping. So, but again, we have been working with Colombian security forces for decades. The partnerships continue. Even though we declared them demonstrably failing in the majors list report, there was a waiver. We're allowed to keep working with them. They have very close relationships with U.S. law enforcement. The information is flowing. I think that's what we expect is going to continue happening.